Dear students, in today's class we are going to see projection of hexagonal lamina when it is resting on one of its corner on HP and its surface is inclined to HP and perpendicular to VP. So this is the question. A regular hexagonal lamina of 40 mm side is resting on one of its corner on HP. Its surface is inclined 45 degree to HP and perpendicular to VP. Draw its projections. So this is the question. So here it is given that it is a hexagonal lamina, which means it is a hexagonal plane. So lamina stands for plane of 40 mm side. So the side of the hexagon is 40 mm resting on one of its corner on HP. If the corner is rested on HP in one particular plane, how will be the simple projection? Similarly, its surface should be tilted to 45 degree to HP. So if it is tilted to HP, definitely it will be perpendicular to VP. So let us start the problem. So listen carefully. First step, draw XY reference line. So as usual, we have to draw XY reference line. Then it is given that it is resting on HP. So which means the true shape of the plane should come on top view. So that's why I have drawn on top view. Okay. So it is resting on one of its corner. So it's totally hexagon will have 6 corners. So we are going to rest this hexagon on one of its corner. So totally 6 corner. In any one of its corner, we are going to rest this particular hexagon. Its surface is inclined 45 degree to HP. That is the second position of the diagram. So let us start the simple projection. So first draw XY reference line. Since it is resting on HP, the true shape of the plane, that is hexagon, will get visible on top view. So that's why we have drawn the hexagon on top view. Since it is resting on corner, we have to take the corner on left side or right side. That is based on your comfort. If you are going to rest the corner which you have taken on the left side, the second position should be drawn accordingly. If you are going to rest the right side corner, the second position should be drawn accordingly. So if it is left side, you can draw the slanting line, the inclined line this way. If it is the right side, you can draw the slanting line this way. Okay. So then name all the corners, that is A, B, C, D and up to F. Okay. These are all the names of the corner. So then let us mark the side. What is the dimension of the side? So it is given as 40 mm. So you have to mark that. So I have taken BC side as 40. So in this way you have to mark the dimension. Then project all the corners of this hexagon towards XY. Okay. So totally 6 corners are there, in which B and F will be at same line. C and E will be at same line. So totally 4 vertical lines, 4 projection lines will be there. So it will meet on XY. Okay. So we have to name these particular points. So based on the top view. So this is the extension line that is drawn from A point. Similarly, this is the line that is drawn from B and F. So if this point can be named as A dash. Since it is front view, you can name this as A dash, and this as B dash, F dash, and this as C dash, E dash, and this as D dash. So when you see from here, F will be invisible and E will be invisible. So these two names should be in bracket when you mark on front view. Okay. See here, I have marked all the points A dash, B dash up to D dash. Similarly, F and E is in bracket since it is hidden. Okay. So join A dash and D dash to get front view. Okay. So this is the simple projection of the hexagonal lamina when it is resting on HP on one of its corner. Clear? Then we can start the second question, that is it is given that its surface is inclined 45 degree to HP. The surface is A, B, C, D, E, F. So hexagon will have 2 surfaces on either side. We are going to tilt one surfaces 45 degree to HP. So A to D, so this is the front view. So if you tilt this particular line, it means that we are tilting the surface. Clear? So just tilt this particular line 45 degree to XY. Okay, so the length should not change. So just incline this line 45 degree to HP. So for that, take the protractor, keep anywhere over XY and mark 45 degree. Okay, the angle is 45 degree to HP. So mark 45 degree. Okay, then draw an inclined line from this point to the point where we have marked angle. Clear? See here, I have marked the angle, that is 45 degree. So it is an inclined line, so which is equal to this length. Okay, so the length of this A dash D dash should be equal to this particular slanting line. So then we have to measure this distance, that is A dash B dash. You can measure using scale or compass, whichever is comfort for you, you can use. So measure this particular distance and mark here. So this will be A1 dash. Similarly B1 dash will be this point. So mark this distance and mark B1 dash here. Similarly measure B dash C dash and accordingly you have to mark C1 dash here. Similarly measure the distance of C dash D dash and accordingly you can mark D1 dash. Clear? See, I have marked all the points. So this will be A1 dash, B1 dash, C1 dash and D1 dash. See, I have named all the points. Okay, project all the corners, that is all the points on this particular front view towards downward. Similarly project all the corners of this top view, simple position top view, towards right side to meet this line. Okay, so this is the meeting point line. Keeping this point as a reference, we are going to produce the top view of the second position, that is the final position. Okay, so A and A gets meets here, B and B gets meets here. Similarly mark all the meeting points, so it will look like an hexagon. Clear? So you can name the points. So if A1 dash and A meets, this point will be called as A1. Similarly B1 dash and B meets at a point, this can be called as B1. So likewise you can name all the points up to F1. Okay, now take HB pencil, join these points to form the top view. Clear? So these two diagram can be drawn using 2H pencil. So this hexagon and this front view, that is top view and front view in simple projection, can be drawn using 2H pencil. This final position, that is second position, front view and top view, can be drawn using HB pencil. So see whether there is some difference between these two positions. Okay, this can be drawn using 2H pencil, this can be drawn using HB pencil. Clear? So that's all. This is the front view and this is the top view when the lamina is tilted 45 degree to HP and it is rested on HP on one of its corner. Okay, finally you can write all dimensions are in mm and the heading, that is projection of planes. Okay, so this is quite simple problem. We already seen one of the hexagonal lamina which is rested on HP on one of its edges. So you can refer the previous video. So if it is rested on edges, you have to draw the simple projection keeping the edge on left side or right side. But it is a corner resting problem, so we have drawn as like keeping corner on left side and right side. Clear? So thank you. So in next video we will have a different type of problem on projection of planes. Thank you.